Hello everybody, this is the Johnny Mare, and welcome to my next Let's Play. And I'm going to be playing, as you can see, Super Mario All-Stars, but the question is, which game on this wonderful little collection am I going to be playing? Well, a couple months ago I asked my viewers to vote for a game to play, and they chose Sonic 1, but it was a very small margin of victory over Super Mario Bros. 1. I'm going to show off the games on this collection quick before we get into the actual game. There's Super Mario Lost Levels, which is the original Mario 2, and the US version of Mario 2, and Super Mario Bros. 3 as well. But we are going to play the original Super Mario Bros. 1 for the NES. Now this is a special edition of Super Mario Bros. A couple of years ago, I think it's been, maybe a year or two, Nintendo released a Wii collection for the 25th anniversary of the Mario Brothers games. And so they re-released Super Mario All-Stars, which was originally an SNES game. Along with the actual game cartridge for the Wii, you also got some interesting packaging, as well as a soundtrack and an art book. Now, I am going to, for this Let's Play, do a couple of things, or at least try to do a couple of things. The first thing I'm going to do is show off every level in the game. So I'm not going to be warping, I'm not going to be using shortcuts or anything. I'm just going to be going through the game and showing off basically what I can. Now, my second goal for this playthrough is to actually try to collect as many lives as I can, so I don't have to use a continue. I want to be able to beat the game without dying so much that I have to actually start over from scratch. Now, I had originally planned on playing this game and doing a special version of it, or a special Let's Play, so to speak, but the plans for that kind of fell through, so that's why I'm doing just this regular Let's Play. I'm not a master of this game, of course. I have played it quite a few times, although it's been a while since I've played it last, probably about 6 months or so. So I'm going to show off the things I am aware of in this game, and also talk about the little infamous secrets that the game possesses as well. Although I don't have the skill, or really the patience, to try to get those infamous secrets, but I will talk about them when we get to them. Now, this game was actually my very first console game that I ever played. I originally had a Nintendo Game Boy, which was my first system I ever owned, but the NES was the first console I ever owned. Now, this was not the first video game I ever played. I actually played, I want to say either Pac-Man or Space Invaders at a hotel or restaurant. It's kind of a combination, and there's a little one up here. Let's grab that. Combination hotel and restaurant that had a arcade cabinet with Pac-Man and I think Space Invaders both. And that was the kind of first experience that I had with a video game. And then when I was younger, after that I got the Game Boy with the original Super Mario Brothers, or Super Mario Land actually I think it's called, and Tetris of course, which came with the Game Boy. And Spider-Man actually, for those of you that remember that game from back in the day, for the original Game Boy. There's a warp up here, if you jump on top of these blocks. And it'll take you to worlds 2, 3, or 4. And there's also the ability to access what's called the minus world there. If you crouch down at the edge of the pipe, facing away and jump backwards, you can actually glitch through the wall and go through the pipe. It should be a warp, but it'll take you to the -1 level, which is essentially a infinite level of underwater swimming that will continue until you run out of time and die. Now, the NES was my first console, but I really hadn't gotten into gaming until after that. I didn't have a lot of games for the NES, just a couple. And I didn't really have a lot of the great games for the NES, so jeez, just fell off there. So I didn't have The Legend of Zelda, Final Fantasy. I mean, those games came later on after I actually played later games in those series. But I did play this one a lot. We got the original NES, what was it called? The Action Pack or Action Set or something like that. And basically, it came with this game as a dual pack with Duck Hunt. And so I played this game a lot and also Duck Hunt a lot because it also came with 2 controllers and the light gun or the blaster, whatever it was called. Yeah, imagine that in this day and age when you barely get one controller with a system. Back in the day, you actually got games, controllers, and accessories. That's pretty awesome. So I played this game quite a bit. I never actually beat it until much later. I got to around World 7 or so. And there's some hidden blocks here with some coins in it. I think there's 6 in total. And so I came back later and actually beat World 8, which is pretty tough. Even to this day, I still struggle with it. We'll see how I do. But it took getting the Super Nintendo version of this game, Super Mario All-Stars, for me to actually beat it. And that's what this is. It's the port of that version. So you'll notice the graphics are upgraded for those of you that have played the original. We have better sprites. And of course, they added the new backgrounds, which are pretty awesome. A lot more detail to them. And now that we're in World 2, I'm actually going to be able to access some pretty awesome bonus areas. I think there's a one-up down here. Yes. Let's grab that. I think this is actually... I almost got hit by a Goomba. How embarrassing that would be. But this is the first level. This one or the next one, we'll see in a second, where you can access a vine that will take you up to a bonus area above. Let's get this star. Yeah, it's this one, because it's right up here. I think it's in between these coin blocks. There it is. But I didn't really get into console gaming until the Super Nintendo. I only had about 6 or 7 Nintendo games, maybe 10. None of them were the kind of primary big-time games, except this one. And so it wasn't until I got the Super Nintendo, and I got Mario World, and Link to the Past, the Zelda game, and Final Fantasy 4 and 6, you know, called 2 and 3 at that time, that I kind of really got into video games and ended up playing them a lot. Let's see if I can get this. Oh. Drop down, and I didn't even get fireworks either. Making pretty good progress so far. I'm going to try to show roughly 3 worlds per episode. So I'll show the first 3 worlds in this episode. I'll do 4, 5, and 6 in my next episode, and then I'll try to finish the game off in my last episode. So I'm aiming for about 3 episodes or so. And then once I finish this game up, I will move on to the game that won the vote of the Mega Man 1 finale. And I'll be revealing that game in a little while in a channel update within the next week or so. So stay tuned for that. See if I can not fall into that pit. There's currents there that pull you downward. I'm really glad I have fireballs here. Gotta love that fireworks underwater. And also that Mario can't drown unless you run out of time, but you have plenty. None of that crazy Sonic underwater music of the drowning noise. Oh no. Ugh. And I am not going to go for those. That is a death pit. Although I could have grabbed 2 and got the 1-up. Oh well. Now usually when I do a platformer, and actually this is pretty much it for series. I think I got most of the major platforming series covered, at least from this era. And now I'll continue to fill in games as we go forward with my subscriber choices, but you know, with any platform, I do like to challenge you all to try to beat my either final score or final time. What's difficult about this game is I'm not going to be beating it in one sitting. I'm going to do the first 3 worlds, obviously, and this version of the game actually lets you... Okay, didn't get hit. That's good. Lets you save after each world. So once I finish World 3 and get to World 4, got these little segmented areas. Dang it. Like getting hit by a cheap sheet in the back of the head. They'll let you save, and so I'll be doing that. And unfortunately, when you do that, it resets your score. So I can still challenge you all, if you're okay with it, to beat my final score. And what I'll do is I'll just add up my scores from all 3 episodes, and that'll be what the final is. And that'll be the score you're going to try to beat. Now we're moving on to the second World 4, or 4th level, Bowser's Castle. Get the introduction of these stupid fireballs that always hit me. I always suck at these levels. I usually get hit at least once, but we'll see what happens. Maybe I can pull it out. Of course, these much more narrow platforms. And I do like that they kind of set this up with, you know, obstacles that are going to change as the game progresses. So they like to reuse the castle architecture in later levels. Oh no, I missed it. Jump! Oh. What hit me there? It's like his hair hit me and knocked me into my lower form. And now we get 2 toads instead of 1. Yes, your princess is in another castle. We'll get to her eventually. Do not worry. And we got these really cool kind of nighttime levels. And the introduction of the jumping Koopas. Let's dodge this. Now, we're going to get to a couple of another of the infamous kind of secrets that you can do in this level, and is it 3? Yeah, World 3-3, I think. Uh-oh. Jump! Oh, man. I think... Is there a 1-up on this bridge? I guess not. I have a vague memory of there being one, but apparently not. So let us continue. Oh man, Hammer Brothers. Not too bad. They get much worse later on, of course. Uh-oh. Oof. I always hate getting hit by Goombas, but here is the second vine. I did not know about these bonus areas in the sky for quite a while. I actually had to look them up when I was playing through the game, you know, quite a while ago, but after I was not a kid anymore. I was trying to find all the secrets in the game. Here we're gonna have to sprint, because you can run over these little single platforms. All right, and I got all 3. Awesome. But the secret in this level is the infinite lives trick, or 99 lives. So coming up, there's a couple of Koopas here, and if you let the first one go and knock the second one on about the 4th step there into its shell, you want it as far to the left of that 4th step as you can, and then you start hopping on it. You'll kick it back into the step and build up points, and you can actually amass infinite lives, theoretically. The problem is, if you get too many lives, it'll actually give you a game over. Oh no. Well, I got the 1-up. Well, that's good. Oh man. Yeah, this level, they have the little parts. Oh geez. Get out of there. Oh no! Well, that was dumb. So much for a no death run. But at least I can get the live back right here. Alright. But viewers, tell me about your experience with this game. Did you play it when you were young? I get a star here. Gotta love invincibility. Or was it something you went back to later on after playing later games in the series? Oh man. Ugh. Alright. Oh well. It's like the 3rd Goomba I've gotten hit by. Not much you can do about it. Mario with his little victory sign or peace sign. Might actually break 300,000 points. For the first 3 worlds, that's not too bad. Alright, so now we got moving platforms. These are tricky. Uh-oh. Oh man, get that! Oh, so close. These drop. Then we get scales. So you ride one and it makes the other one lift up. And this is the level where you can actually jump over the flagpole at the end. I think it's the only one in the game you can do that. Maybe there's another one. But you gotta ride this one down as far as possible and then run jump from the right one as high as possible and from the rightmost edge as possible. And you can actually clear the little flag there. And what happens is you just, again, end up in an infinite loop where you're just running and running and running until basically the timer kills you. Okay, let's time this. Ah, knew that would happen. I always get hit by those. But this game is not my favorite in the series. My favorite game in the Mario series is actually Mario World, which I played quite a bit in comparison. Jeez. Nice little dodge there, ducking. I love the Bowser painting in the background. But let's kill him now. Take the hit, drop him in the lava. In my next episode, we'll continue onward and take on the next 3 worlds, worlds 4, 5, and 6. So I hope you've enjoyed this beginning to my Super Mario Bros. 1 LP. Thank you for watching, viewers, and I will see you all next time. So long.